Okay, so this is the 7 simul bpaul tutorial. Now bpaul in this case, I don't really know what it means, but it's just the variation that we're going to be going for. Now, I'll start off with a few just random tips before we get into the actual tutorial. So, the first tip is to be orientation neutral. That means you can have the red on the side or on the bottom. You just need to know where it is. This will get easier over time, but it also helps looking for skips. Skips is the next thing I'm going to talk about. So, with skips, there's two main ones you want to look for at this stage. You want to be looking for skips like this, where this edge and this edge is solved, as such, and then skips like this, where these two are solved. In this case, you're meant to hold this on the back, so just by doing that. Okay, so just hold it on the back like this. And then in this case, it really doesn't matter where you hold it, but preferably you want the distance between this to that to be smaller than this to that. So as you can see, this is much bigger gap than this, so we want to hold that at the back. Right, let's get into memorization. Speaking of gaps, that's how we memorize. We see where something has to go to get to here. Now, this isn't part of the memo, but for example, that to there would be 5, and this back to here would be -5. Right, so the difference is for negative numbers, because -2 is very difficult to say in your head, we go for letters. So -1 is A, -2 is B, and so on and so forth. It's pretty easy to tell, just count the blue dots. As long as you can read a clock, you can do it. So, first memorization is going to be this clock to this clock, all right? Oh, I need to say, have your starting position, right, which is going to be here for me, and then do that. So this to here is -2, and that is going to be B. Okay, and then the next one we're going to do is, staying on this side, we'll do this to there, which is -3. So we've got B and then -3, but no, we don't have -3, because you flip over and you do this to here. And because that's 0, we now have -3. Okay, well, this isn't always going to be paired up, of course, but sometimes it is. In this case, it is, so it's just that to there, -3, and then nothing. So we got BC, right? So then we're going to do this to here, which is -3, or C. So BCC, and that's like the toughest bit done. Well, no, the easiest. Ignore me. Anyway, so next up we got this goes to here, and that is -5, which is E, but there's a bit more. I'm going to flip over and do that to there, which is -1. So that is -6. But if we take this clock, for example, if I do -6, it's the same as +6. So basically -6, yeah. So it's just going to be 6. So we'll just memorize that as 6. And then what we're going to do from here is that to there, which is 2. So now we have BCC 62. And then there is a final little bit of memo. It's not necessary, but it makes your life a lot easier. We do that to there, which is 2. So we'll add on a 2. Now, you'll see why this makes it a lot easier in a bit. Right, so we'll flip back over. Now, the pin order is very necessary to know off by heart. It is, you start with these 3 pins up, then switch to that pin down, then put these 2 up, and then that, and that. So, first up, we are going to do B. So, with this finger, because it just makes it a lot easier, we're going to do B like that. So just -2. and then it'll be C on here, so -3. And then we will push this pin down, and we'll do C on this side, and then these two get paired up with this side, but we don't need to do that. And then we'll put this pin down and pair this corner up to these two edges, like so, and then this edge up to all of this with your right pinky finger, as such. And then we put these two pins up, and on the left we're going to do 6, and on the right we're going to do 2. Okay, now you will see why the other bit of memorization is so much easier to do. So what we're going to do is pair this edge up to here in this pin position. We'll use the left for this. And what you need to do at the same time is pair these two corners up. Now that is really difficult to look ahead for, so this is why you memorize 2. So before you can even do this, you can just do 2, and then that, and they should be paired up. Alright, now the next thing is to put this down, and pair this with these two, which is already done, and then we just kind of build this block with this pin as such. So you have this and that, top left, pair up. Oh, I forgot to mention, pairing this up, use this side. And then finally, you'll put this pin up, and then turn this layer side, until these corners match up to the red, and then that. And you should be done. Okay, so that was pretty easy, right? So I'll do another quick walkthrough solve. This will be hopefully a lot easier. Well, not easier, but you know, whatever. So, this scramble. Now, I am going to go against what I just said. So instead of holding these here, I'm actually going to hold them here. Trust me, this also skips. So, and it's just because these are a lot closer. So, we'll start off memorization with this to here, which is 3. And then that to there, which is -1. Add this to here, which is 6. So -1 plus 6 is 5. And then flip back over and do this to here, which is 6. So we have 3, 5, 6. And then flip back over. This to here is 0. Back again. This to here is -4, which is D. And then this to here is 5. And that to there is 4. So we have 3, 5, 6, D, 5, 4. So going on this side, start with this pin position. And we do 3, this, like this. And then 5 on the right. And then put that pin down. And then we do 6 on the left and 6 on the right to pair up these two. Just like that. And then this pin down, that to here, and that to this block. Make that. And the left pin's up, and D on the left, and 5 on the right. And then when we put this pin down, we can just go straight into 4, because these are already paired up. And then we match this block up to these two, this up to here, and then because the red is on the bottom, we turn this to the bottom, and that to the bottom. Okay, so, pretty quick tutorial right there. It's a decently easy method. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, but otherwise, yep, that is how you do bpaul 7 simul.